The next scripture verse is found in Proverbs 18:9, and it's under the Message translation, and it says, "Slacked habits or putting off and sloppy work are as bad as vandalism." Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, okay, Leah, you're really stretching this. Now you're saying that procrastination is like stealing or robbing from us or vandalism. Well, I didn't say that. Scripture said that. But let's think about it. When we procrastinate on something that we know we need to do and it stresses us out, what it does is it robs from us and it steals us of our peace of mind. It can rob us physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay, one more scripture verse, and that's in Proverbs 13, verse 4, and it says that lazy people want much, but get little, but those who work hard will prosper. So I want to challenge all of us today, including myself, that we don't be lazy, not to procrastinate, and to really do what God is calling us to do. All right, here's the how-to. So how can we stop procrastinating and start propelling forward towards our life goals? One thing is, whatever you're procrastinating over, put that at the top of your list. Don't put it at the bottom. And when you put it at the top, and so when you, and if you want to start this tomorrow, you can, but address it first. I think it's Nike that has a slogan, just do it. Well, just do it. Get it over with, because once you do it, it will free your mind forever of that task. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to feel guilty about it anymore. It's done and over with. The next thing is remember to eliminate distractions, and we talked about there are so many of them, but try to eliminate them as much as possible to really look at your schedule and say, what are the things that need to get done today, and try to set yourself some goals. Now, when you're setting goals, make sure you set them realistically. Don't put 30 things on your list because you're setting yourself up for failure. I mean, getting 30 things done in one day on top of all those unexpected things is really asking a lot. But eliminate those distractions. Next is if you've got a big project that you're working on, maybe a writing project, or you're trying to put together a message to give, to speak, or you're trying to pay your taxes, or work on an audit project, maybe through work. Break those things up into small bite-sized chunks and segments and say, okay, today I'm going to do this section, I'm going to get started, and I'm going to do these 3 things. And then tomorrow I'm going to do the next 3 things, and the day after the next 3 things. And before you know, that project will be done, but it won't feel so overwhelming and so huge to you if you do it in bite-sized sections. Another thing is get a friend. If you're having trouble with something, maybe like working out or eating right, call a friend and say, I'm really struggling with this and I'm procrastinating over it even though I know it needs to get done. Will you help me? And you never know, a friend of yours or maybe your sister or your mom might be struggling with something else that she's procrastinating over. And so the two of you all can work together as accountability partners. Something else is reward yourself. And I know for some of you, you might think this sounds silly, but I mean, we all like rewards. I like to get a reward. And the thing is that if we have a task that we need to do and we attach a reward to it, then we're more likely to get it done. And the reward doesn't have to be big. It could be meeting a friend out for coffee, or you're going to decide that once you get your bills paid, you're going to take 30 minutes out to just sit outside and sit in the sun and look through a magazine or read a book. So obviously use the size of the reward based on what the task is. You might want to save those body massages or pedicures for a big project instead of unstacking the dishwasher or something like that. Okay, here's another thing, is if you're afraid of failure and that's your thing and that's why you find that you're procrastinating, I want you to ask yourself when you look at that project or that task and say, what is the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing? Let's say you're writing a blog and you're struggling through it, and so you're just not going to post it today. Ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen? And really, make you start to realize that the act of procrastinating is a lot worse than doing the thing that you're procrastinating to begin with. Most importantly, pray and ask God to help you, because He will. Scripture says that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, and that God is our helper. He is there in our time of need, and He will never leave us or forsake us. So if you're struggling with something, if it's small or major, or you realize you have an issue with procrastination, go to the Lord and say, Lord, I need help with this. Will you help me? And I guarantee you He will. To wrap things up, I just want to encourage you today. I've got some action steps also on my blog, and I'm giving away a book that's written by Glennis Whitward, and it's called I Used to Be So Organized. And I just read it about 3 months ago. I actually read it about a year ago, pulled it out again 3 months ago, and it's a fantastic book. I'd love to give it away to somebody this week. So leave a comment on the blog, and then check back next Monday, because that's when I'll be posting the winner. And have a great week. And I just want to encourage you to live life to the fullest, and stop procrastinating, start doing, and start working towards your life goals. Take care, and God bless.